Hello everybody, this is Tina Chari. Welcome to my channel and a very warm namaste. Very recently, there was a show or web series released by Amazon Prime that has hurt the religious sentiments and created quite a stir amongst the Hindus. The show is called Tandav, and it showed actors depicting Hindu gods and goddesses using foul objectionable language and generally seemed to be mocking Hindu gods. Obviously, this has offended most of the Hindus. When I was watching this show, I didn't realize that this is what the controversy was about. So I started to watch the show, and I saw this, and I was deeply affected and offended by it. While I was watching this, I realized that the show was named Tandav, and most of us Hindus, or a lot of Hindus, probably don't even know what Tandav means and what this could mean going forward. As an astrologer, I was thinking about it, and I decided to make this video so I could educate the people on what Tandav, Lord Shiva's Tandav actually means and how this could relate to the current circumstances. I'm going to do a very short video or relate the story of how Lord Shiva's Tandav, actual Tandav, came about, and then relate it to the current circumstance surrounding going on in Bollywood today, and then do a prediction based on that. You need to stay tuned because I feel passionately about this, and I'm going to tell you why and how I'm making a prediction based on this. Let's start by telling you the story of the actual Tandav that Lord Shiva did in a very short form. I'm going to spare all the details. I'm just going to tell you the basic story of the dance of Tandav. It starts with King Daksh. He was a son of Brahma, and he was a rich king, and his youngest daughter was called Princess Sati, also Uma. And so Sati, or Princess Sati, was very much deeply in love with Shiv, or Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the god of gods, also called Mahadev. So Princess Sati was deeply in love with Lord Shiva and wanted to marry him. Her father, King Daksh, was against the marriage because he felt that Lord Shiva was not one of them. He was not princely in nature. He was not supposed to be rich and didn't live a rich life, or he didn't live a materialistic life. He wore these animal skins, he had dreadlocks, and he smeared himself with ashes, and he lived mostly in graveyards and hung out with these odd creatures. So the King Daksh, felt that this was not the right match for Princess Sati, so he was very much against it. But because she was so deeply in love, they got married, even though her father didn't approve of the match. And so Princess Sati and Lord Shiv were married, and they were living together as husband and wife. One day, King Daksh decided to have a very big prayer service at his palace, and invited every single person. He invited all the gods. He invited all the kings, princesses, and everybody of royal lineage. He invited everybody that he could think of, and he invited them to this prayer service. The only two people that were not invited to this prayer service was Princess Sati and her husband, Lord Shiv. And the reason he did that was because he wanted to insult Lord Shiva in some way, because he wanted to make his displeasure known that, I don't approve of this marriage, I don't like it, Lord Shiva, and so I'm just going to insult him in this way by inviting the whole universe except those two people. So he started the prayer service. The whole event started. Princess Sati found out, while the event was going on, Princess Sati found out that her father had organized this prayer service and she was not invited. She couldn't believe that her father would do that to her, so she told Lord Shiva, well, we need to go to attend this event. And Lord Shiva said, well, but we have not been invited, so we're not going to go there. And she said, well, I'm sure that my father loves me so much, it could have been, and he must have overlooked the invitation, so we just need to attend the event. And Lord Shiva said, he has not overlooked inviting us, because he's definitely invited everybody, and nobody should go where they are not invited. So we are not going there or attending the event. Princess Sati was adamant. She's like, that is my father's house. I do not need an invitation to go to my own father's house. I could just go in whenever I feel like it. That's my father's house. I do not need an invitation. And Lord Shiva said to her that social etiquette and manners must never be given up. regardless of whose house it is. You cannot go somewhere where you're either not wanted or not invited. And so, even though that's your father's house, this is your main house, and even though you need to go there, you still need an invitation, and social etiquette cannot be, done away with. She was adamant. This was her father's house. The love for her father took over all social etiquette and manner, and she said, well, that is my father's house, and I want to attend. So Lord Shiva said, well, if that's what you want to do, then you go ahead, do that, but I am not accompanying you. So Princess Sati went to her father's house to the event where the prayer service was going on. And when she came there, she was ignored by her family members. Her presence was not acknowledged by her father or her sisters or brothers. When she tried to, talk to them, in fact, her father, King Daksh, started insulting her. He asked her why she was there. You were not invited. Why are you here? And started insulting her. He started insulting her and her husband, Lord Shiva, and said, well, you shouldn't have come here. We didn't invite you. Why are you even here? And in fact, instead of acknowledging her presence and greeting her, he started insulting her in front of the whole universe, all the people that were present there, gods and kings. She was so insulted. She was so embarrassed. And out of this whole, the feeling of shame that she felt, she couldn't handle it. Not because she felt shame for herself, because then she felt that she had not only got herself insulted, but her husband had been insulted, who had not even been there, who had told her not to go there. She felt that her father was actually insulting her husband as well. And this is the reason she felt more shameful. So what she did, because she just didn't know what to do at that point, what she did, she jumped into the fire that was going on of the yagna, the prayer fire that was going on. She jumped into the fire. Hence the name Sati, which comes from when women throw themselves into the funeral fire. That's where the name comes from, but that's just a side note. So anyway, so she jumps into the fire to kill herself. And she does. She starts to burn, obviously, and kills herself. As God of gods, Shiva, finds out immediately, he's the God of gods, he knows, and he comes there. He is grief-stricken and he's angry, as you can imagine, that his wife was treated in this way and now she is dead and burning in this fire. The negative vibration, the vibration of the anger, the hand movements and his foot movements, and the vibratory nature of Shiva's destruction that happens, which he tries to destroy at that time, is called the Tandav. Tandav is the dance of destruction of the cosmos, which Shiva then does. He tries to destroy everything that's there. He cuts off hands and limbs. He cuts off King Daksha's head and hands and limbs of other people, and he destroys everything. Tandav is this dance of destruction. It is the anger, and it is the feeling of grief coupled with the anger that this dance embodies. Now, that is the angry form of Tandav. Tandav has different forms. There's a calmer form of Tandav. So Tandav has 16 forms, but this is the angry form of Tandav. And that's what Shiva does. He destroys the cosmos. So that's where the dance Tandav originated from. If you think about it, Shiva did the Tandav dance not because he wasn't invited. This dance of destruction was against evil. It was mainly because of people and their discriminatory habits. He danced, or the destruction was against discrimination and the fact that people treat others badly and discriminate against them and insult them. Now let's relate this to what is going on in the Indian film industry or Bollywood today. Bollywood is being controlled by people that are insiders. The insiders, they promote their own children. They will make any kind of movie, any content, regardless of whether it's hurtful to religious sentiments or not, whether it's proper or not. They show scenes that are offensive in some ways, where you can't even watch them with your children or with aged parents. They're only after money. They almost sound evil in some way. Now, a few months ago, or in the middle of last year, a very young actor who came from a small town, Sushant Singh Rajput died under very mysterious circumstances. I'm not a Bollywood insider and I'm not connected to it, but the reports in the press ever since have been that he may have been killed or whatever. And there's, investigations going on about that. But the general feeling is that outsiders are not accepted. Outsiders meaning people that are not like them. If you look at the story of the Tandav, it is somebody that is not accepted, somebody that is like Shiva, who is not like Princely, who is not like King Daksh, who is not accepted. And the same thing is happening in Bollywood. People that are not like them are not accepted within the Bollywood film industry, and so they're shunned or they're treated badly. This is the exact same thing as the dance of the Tandav, or why Shiva did the Tandav, is because he was not accepted. And now if you see, now these people are starting to make movies that are against the Hindu religion or against portraying it in a poor light and not accepting people or young actors or artists from outside the film industry. Saif Ali Khan, who is one of the lead performers in Tandav, is married to Kareena Kapoor, who belongs to the great Kapoor Khandan of Bollywood. If you watch movies produced or directed by her grandfather Raj Kapoor, it begins with her great-grandfather Prithvi Raj Kapoor saying a shlok and praying in front of a Shiva, the linga or the lingam of Shiva, which is the pindi. And so it tells me that she comes from a lineage or a family that are Shiv devotees, they're Shiv bhakts. Yet her husband can star in a movie and make a movie that degrades Lord Shiva in such a way. Is it not a wife's responsibility to make sure that her husband respects her religion as well? Just like Sati felt so ashamed that her husband was respected, and now here's Bollywood, who doesn't even care that her husband disrespects her own religion or the religion of her forefathers and ancestors. Bollywood's time has come. As an astrologer, I'm predicting that the dance of Tandav has begun in Bollywood. Their time has come. If you notice, ever since Sushant Singh Rajput died last year, none of the Bollywood movies are being accepted. They can't recover their money and nobody's going to watch them. The popular shows on TV that used to be watched by millions of people are no longer being watched, like KBC and Kapil Sharma and all these, or Big Boss, for example. They're all flop shows and nobody's watching them. The public has outright rejected this kingly approach, and they don't want to have anything to do with these people that consider themselves the gods or the kings of Bollywood. My prediction is that Bollywood as we know it is coming to an end. This will all go away and a new Bollywood will start in the next couple of years. These people that we know as stars will no longer be known as stars, and a new order of Bollywood will soon be coming in the next couple of years. The dance of Tandav has begun in Bollywood. I know this video of mine was a little different from what I usually post, but if you like it, make sure you hit the like button, share it with everybody that you know, and subscribe to my channel. That's it for now. See you on my next video. Stay safe and goodbye.